In one hand, a $7,800 watch that went to the moon. In the other, a $15,000 watch that currently sells for $35,000. One is a piece of history you can walk in and buy. The other is an asset you have to win. For half a century, they have been the two greatest chronographs in the world: the Rolex Daytona and the Omega Speedmaster. They've raced on the same tracks and aimed for the same stars. But in our modern world, the rules have changed. We live in an age of alternative assets, where a watch is not just a tool, but a portfolio. The old debate of which is better is dead. The new question is the only one that matters. Which one holds its value better? This isn't just a simple comparison, it's a clash of philosophies. On one side, you have the Daytona, a symbol of status built on a brilliant strategy of controlled scarcity. It is an access key that appreciates, an instant profit for the lucky few who are allocated one. Its retail price is a suggestion, its market price is a phenomenon. On the other side, you have the Speedmaster. Its value is not manufactured, it was earned. It was flight qualified by NASA. It was the first watch on the moon. It helped save the Apollo 13 mission. Its value is rooted in one of the greatest achievements in human history. So, what happens when you pit engineered hype against documented heritage? When a financial bubble meets a historical icon? This is the ultimate battle for value. This is the Daytona versus the Speedmaster. To understand the Rolex Daytona, you have to understand that it is no longer just a watch. It is, perhaps, the world's most successful luxury product. But it wasn't always this way. Born for the racetrack, the Daytona was actually a slow seller in the 1960s and 70s. Dealers struggled to move them. Then, Paul Newman happened. When his personal reference sold at auction for over $17 million, the Daytona stopped being a simple chronograph and started being a legend. Today, Rolex manufactures the new Calibre 4131 Daytona. It is a technical marvel, precise, robust, and featuring a 72-hour power reserve. It is a flawless machine. But let's be honest, its greatest feature isn't listed on the spec sheet. Its greatest feature is scarcity. Rolex tightly controls production, creating a supply chain where demand doesn't just exceed supply, it humiliates it. You cannot simply walk into a store and buy this watch. You do not choose the Daytona chooses you. You are allocated one based on your spending history and your relationship with the dealer. For everyone else, there is only the secondary market, where prices can soar to double or triple the retail cost. And that premium is the entire story. The value here isn't just held, it is created instantly the second you walk out of the boutique door. The Daytona is a financial anomaly. It isn't a depreciating asset like a luxury car. It is an access key that appreciates. It is the undisputed crown of scarcity. The Speedmaster's story is the exact opposite. It is not about scarcity, it is about history. It wasn't given its legend by a celebrity auction, it earned it in the void of space. In 1964, NASA anonymously purchased chronographs from several leading brands. They needed a watch that could survive the impossible. The tests were brutal. They subjected the watches to extreme temperatures, violent vibrations, and crushing G-forces. One by one, the other watches failed. Crystals popped, hands melted, and movements ceased. only one watch survived the torture. The Omega Speedmaster. From that moment, it became flight qualified for all manned space missions. It was on the wrist of Ed White during the first American spacewalk. It was the first watch worn on the lunar surface, and most famously, during the critical moments of Apollo 13, when the onboard computers failed, it was the Speedmaster that timed the 14-second engine burn that saved the crew's lives. Its value isn't locked in a vault by a marketing team. It is written in the stars. And the best part? You can buy one today. The modern version, with its upgraded master chronometer movement, is a direct descendant of that original tool. It is an icon that is actually accessible. You don't need a relationship with a dealer, you just need a credit card. But here lies the conflict. In the world of investing, accessible is often a dirty word. If anyone can buy it, can it really hold its value? Or does being the people's legend come at a financial cost? Let's talk about the real cost. The Daytona's retail price of $15,100 is a fantasy. It is a number that less than 1% of buyers will ever actually pay. For the vast majority, the price is irrelevant because you cannot buy the watch. To get one at retail, you often need a massive purchase history with an authorized dealer, buying jewelry and other watches you don't want just to get on the list. If you do get the call, you have won the lottery. You pay $15,000 and the watch is instantly worth $35,000. The value retention is over 100% immediately. But for most people, the only option is the gray market. And there, you are paying the full market premium up front. If the market corrects, you are the one holding the bag. Now, look at the Speedmaster. This is an honest transaction. You walk into a boutique, you are treated like a customer, not a supplicant. You pay the retail price of around $7,800. If you turn around and sell that watch a year later, you might lose 10%. In the world of luxury goods, that is actually a remarkable performance. A car would lose 30% the moment you drive it off the lot. The Speedmaster finds its floor very fast, and it stays there. However, the landscape is shifting. Recent releases, like the new White Dial Speedmaster, have created organic waitlists. These models are now trading slightly above retail. It proves that Omega doesn't need to manipulate supply to create value. They just need to make a great watch. So, the trade-off is clear. With Rolex, you are gambling on a high-stakes asset. With Omega, you are parking your money in a stable, liquid commodity. This is where the numbers get loud. Let's conduct a 5-year stress test. Imagine we travel back to the year 2020. You walk into a store and you manage to buy both watches at their retail price. First, the Rolex Daytona. In 2020, the MSRP for the steel ceramic model was just over $13,000. Today, on the secondary market, that same watch trades for approximately $32,000. That is not just retention, that is aggressive appreciation. It has more than doubled your initial capital. It wasn't a purchase, it was one of the best performing assets in your entire portfolio, outperforming the S&P 500 during many of those years. Now, let's look at the Omega Speedmaster. In 2020, you paid roughly $6,300. Today, If you tried to sell that specific watch, you would get back about $5,800. On paper, that is a loss of about 9%. But context is everything. If you had bought a luxury car, you would have lost 50%. If you had bought a typical designer watch, you would have lost 40%. For a mass-produced mechanical item to retain over 90% of its value after 5 years of daily wear is actually astounding. But the numbers don't lie. The difference is categorical. One behaves like a high-growth tech stock, volatile, exciting, and capable of massive returns. The other behaves like a stable government bond, reliable, consistent, and safe. If the definition of holding value means making a profit, the Daytona wins. But if holding value means protecting your money while you enjoy a luxury, the Speedmaster is nearly unbeatable. Both brands know how to play the hype game, but they play by very different rules. Omega is often criticized for having too many limited editions, but when they get it right, they create a phenomenon. Take the Silver Snoopys Speedmasters. These watches celebrate the award NASA gave Omega for saving the Apollo 13 mission. They are whimsical, featuring a cartoon beagle on the dial. But financially, they are serious business. These models are almost impossible to buy at retail. They instantly double or triple in value on the secondary market, trading for $25,000 or more. This proves that Omega can create scarcity and massive investment returns when they leverage their history correctly. But then, there is Rolex. Rolex plays on a different planet entirely. Consider the Rainbow Daytona. This is a factory-set, gem-encrusted chronograph that retails for a six-figure sum. However, on the open market, it has traded for nearly $500,000. At this level, the Daytona stops being a watch. It becomes a trophy. It is a currency of pure status, recognized instantly across every border in the world. The value here isn't about the mechanics. It is about the flex. This brings us to a critical distinction. The Speedmaster's hype is usually tied to a specific event or a story. It feels grounded. The Daytona's hype is tied to the brand itself. Market analysts often point out that the Daytona's value is heavily reliant on this manufactured scarcity. It is brilliant marketing, but it introduces a layer of risk. The value of the Speedmaster is built on a foundation that can never be taken away. But for now, if you are chasing the highest highs, the hype machine of the crown is undeniable. But here is the warning label that nobody wants to read. What happens when the hype fades? We have already seen it happen. In early 2022, the watch market was in a frenzy. Prices were climbing vertically, and then, just like that, the music stopped. The watch market correction began. If you were one of the people who bought a Rolex Daytona on the secondary market at its absolute peak, you paid nearly $45,000. Today, that same watch is trading closer to $35,000. Do the math. You haven't made money. You have lost $10,000. Suddenly, the sure thing doesn't look like a safe haven anymore. It looks like a volatile cryptocurrency. Because the value of the Daytona on the secondary market is driven by market sentiment, fashion, and the availability of cheap cash. When those things dry up, the price softens. Now, look at the Speedmaster during that same chaotic period. Its price chart is almost a flat line. It barely flinched. Why? Because people do not buy Omega Speedmasters to flip them for a quick profit. They buy them to wear them. The demand is real, organic, and driven by enthusiasts, not speculators. This is the hidden danger of the Daytona. Its value is extrinsic. It depends on what the next guy is willing to pay you for it. The Speedmaster's value is intrinsic. It is based on what the watch is, not what it trades for. So, if you are looking for a roller coaster with high potential returns, you play the Rolex game. But if you want to sleep soundly at night, knowing your asset is safe from the whims of a bubble, the Speedmaster is the only logical choice. So, let's strip away the market value, the hype, and the history. Let's open the casebacks and look at the mechanical soul. Which is the better machine? The Rolex Daytona houses the new Calibre 4131. It is, simply put, a modern marvel of industrial engineering. It is an automatic movement, meaning it lives off your motion. It features a vertical clutch mechanism, which ensures that when you start the chronograph, the hand engages instantly without the slightest stutter or jump. With a 72-hour power reserve, you can take it off on Friday and it will still be running on Monday morning. It is a flawless, autonomous engine. It asks nothing of you other than to wear it. The Speedmaster is a different beast entirely. It houses the Calibre 3861. While it is a certified master chronometer, impervious to magnetic fields and incredibly accurate, it refuses to let go of the past. It is a manual wind movement. It does not charge itself. Every morning, you must engage in a tactile ritual, winding the crown between your fingers to bring the watch to life. It retains the classic horizontal clutch, which is visually beautiful to look at, even if it is older technology. This creates a fundamental divide in ownership. The Rolex is a watch you wear. It is a statement of efficiency and perfection. The Speedmaster is a watch you use. It is a companion that requires your interaction to survive. One is a piece of jewelry that tells time. The other is a mechanical instrument with a heartbeat that you control. This brings us to the final and perhaps most important question. What is value? We have spent the last 15 minutes talking about dollars, appreciation percentages, and liquidity. But is value just a number on a spreadsheet? Is it just an asset class that outperforms the stock market? If your definition of value is financial, if it is a signal to the world that you have made it, then the Rolex Daytona is the undisputed champion. It is more than a watch. It is a global currency. It is a trophy on your wrist that speaks a universal language of success. Its value comes from the fact that it is untouchable for the masses. But there is another kind of value. Value can be the story you tell. It can be the feeling of connection to something bigger than yourself. The Omega Speedmaster offers a value that money literally cannot buy. When you wind that watch in the morning, you are performing the exact same action as the astronauts who flew to the moon. You are connecting yourself to a lineage of explorers, pioneers, and risk-takers. The Daytona's value is extrinsic. It is defined by other people, by what they are willing to pay you for it, and by the envy it generates. The Speedmaster's value is intrinsic. It is defined by the watch itself. It is defined by what it did. So you have to ask yourself, do you want a watch that holds its price in a safe? Or do you want a watch that holds a meaning on your wrist? One is an investment in your net worth. The other is an investment in your legacy. So, which watch holds its value better? The answer is as complicated as the movements themselves. From a pure, cold financial perspective, the Rolex Daytona is the winner. It is undeniable. No watch in history has so consistently and so absurdly gained value the moment it leaves the store. If you are one of the lucky few who can buy one at retail, you have made an instant 150% profit. It is a financial phenomenon. But remember, this is a value you can't touch. It is a VIP club that you may never be invited to join. And if you buy on the secondary market, you are riding a wave of hype that is tied to the economy. The Omega Speedmaster, on the other hand, holds its value honestly. It is perhaps the most stable asset in all of luxury. You can buy it, wear it, scratch it, and love it. And in 30 years, you will be able to sell it for at least what you paid, and likely much more. Its value isn't built on the shifting sands of fashion or scarcity. It is built on the bedrock of heritage. So, the verdict is clear. If you want an asset that behaves like a winning lottery ticket, you choose the crown. If you want an asset that behaves like a bar of gold, you choose the Speedmaster. The Daytona holds money better. The Speedmaster holds history better. The real question is, which one are you investing in?